पुष्पेषु चंपा नगरीषु लंका नदीषु गंगा च नृपेषु रामः नारीषु रंभा पुरुषेषु विष्णुः काव्येषु माघः कविकालिदासः. Magha is a well-known Sanskrit poet of 7th century CE. He was born to Dattak and Brahmi in a place called Bhinmal in Rajasthan. His grandfather Suprabhavadeva was a minister at the court of King Varmalata, the then king of Gujarat, with its capital at Shrimala in present-day Sirohi district of Rajasthan. Magha is famous for his composition Shishupala Vadham, which earned itself a place in PanchaMahakavyas, or 5 great poems of Sanskrit literature. The composition consists of 20 cantos with approximately 1645 verses. As the title suggests, Shishupalvadham literally means killing of Shishupal. This event, though briefly described in Sabha Parva of Mahabharata, is quite well known. Shishupal, the king of Chedi Empire, was a cousin of Sri Krishna. The traditional story says that Sri Krishna promised his aunt, that is Shishupal's mother, that he will not hurt her son unless Shishupal commits more than 100 crimes against him. During the Rajasuya Yajna performed by Yudhishthira, Shishupal, who was jealous of Sri Krishna, hurled too many insults at him. Once the number of insults exceeded 100, Sri Krishna beheaded him with his Sudarshan Chakra. Now, Magha has altered his course of events in many ways to suit his creative endeavor. First of all, in the very first canto, Magha has introduced sage Narada, who visits Sri Krishna at Dwarka as a messenger from Indra. After many mutual admirations, Narada discloses the motive of his visit. He informs Sri Krishna that Shishupal has become a menace to both gods and men alike. He convinces Sri Krishna that just as Vishnu took birth as Narasimha to kill the demon Hiranyakashipu and incarnated as Sri Ram to kill the demon Ravana, similarly, Sri Krishna has taken birth to kill the demon Shishupal. Sri Krishna accepts the request of Narad Muni and ponders over the issue. In the meantime, Yudhishthira has invited Sri Krishna to be present at the Rajasuya Yajna to be performed by him. In the second canto, Sri Krishna takes counsel from his uncle Uddhava and his elder brother Balarama to decide whether he should attend the Rajasuya Yajna at Hastinapur or instead immediately attack the kingdom of Shishupal. Here, Uddhava rightly points out that even Shishupal will be attending the Rajasuya Yajna, and it won't make sense to attack his kingdom in his absence if the aim was to kill Shishupal. Thus, Sri Krishna is said to travel from Dwarika to Hastinapur to attend the Rajasuya Yajna. Here onwards, Magha has showcased his brilliance as a poet through his descriptive poetry. The third canto describes the commencement of Sri Krishna and his army from Dwarika. He describes the city of Dwarika and the sea around it at length. The fourth canto describes the Raivataka mountain where Sri Krishna decides to camp for a night. In the fifth canto, he describes the camping sites and their facilities. The sixth canto is dedicated to describe all the 6 seasons of an year at length. From 7th canto till 11th canto, the poet describes jungle sports, water sports, sunset, consumption of alcohol in army camp, and sunrise of the next day. In the 12th canto, Sri Krishna and his army resume their journey towards Hastinapur. In the 13th canto, they cross the river Yamuna and are warmly welcomed by all the Pandavas. Finally, it is in 14th and 15th canto that we witness the original narrative of Sabha Parva of Mahabharata. Yudhishthir is ready to commence the Rajasuya Yajna. On the advice of Bhishma, Yudhishthir begins the ritual by offering first prayers to Sri Krishna to seek his blessings and completes the Yajna. Shishupal, who is jealous of Sri Krishna, hurls non-stop abuses at him. The entire 15th canto is full of these insults to show their gravity as well as to convey to the audience that Shishupal has crossed his limit of 100 sins and is now liable to be punished. Sri Krishna is released from the promise made to Shishupal's mother of not killing her son. At this moment, as per original narrative of Mahabharata, Sri Krishna beheads Shishupal with his Sudarshan Chakra. But with Magha, picture abhi baki hai mere dost. Magha has taken the plot to another level altogether. Magha is a devotee of Sri Krishna and is not satisfied with such a simple death to Shishupal and has introduced a full-fledged war between the two. As per Magha's Sisupalavadham, after hurling abuses at Krishna, Shishupal openly challenges him for war and walks out of the Sabha. In the 16th canto, Shishupal's envoy convey to Krishna in front of all guest kings that his master is eager for victory over him. The 17th canto states that all kings in support of Sri Krishna become extremely furious and start preparing for war against Shishupal. The last three cantos, that is 18th, 19th and 20th, are dedicated to descriptions of war alone. They include descriptions of warriors, weapons and valor. Magha has described the valor of Shishupal in superlative adjectives in order to praise Sri Krishna's valor, who in the end defeats Shishupal thoroughly and then beheads him with his Sudarshan Chakra. Magha is known to idolize Bharavi, another brilliant poet who preceded Magha by a couple of centuries. As mentioned in my earlier video on poet Bharavi and Kiratarjuniyam, Magha is inspired by Bharavi in many ways. Some obvious comparisons are as follows. Bharavi's composition Kiratarjuniyam is based on a small event in Mahabharata elaborated over 18 cantos. Same is true for Magha, who elaborated it to 20 cantos. Bharavi idolized Shiva and praised him through his composition. Similarly, Magha idolized Vishnu and praised him through his composition. Bharavi's work is known as Lakshmi Padantya, as the word Lakshmi appears at the end of each canto. On similar lines, Magha's work is known as Shri Padantya, and the word Shri is synonymous with Lakshmi. Bharavi has described Indrakil mountain at length. Here Magha has described Raivataka mountain at length. Entire 15th canto of Bharavi's Kiratarjuniyam is Chitrakavya. So is ShishupalVadham's entire 19th canto. Both the poets have dedicated one whole canto to describe 6 seasons in their respective compositions. As it is said that imitation is the best form of flattery, we can see how Magha must have been mesmerized by Bharavi. However, Magha has not stopped at imitation alone. In fact, Magha through his composition hoped to even surpass the brilliance of Bharavi. Magha has left no stone unturned in order to realize his desire of getting more fame and success than Bharavi. With Shishupala he did manage to do that. As a widely known quote says, Tavat bha bharaver bhati yavan maghasya nodayaha udite tu punar maghe bharaver bharaveriva. Bharavi literally means sunshine, and Magha literally is a name of an Indian lunar month, that is the month of harsh winter. Hence the above quote means that success of Bharavi is only till the time Magha appears on the horizon. Once Magha rises, Bharavi glows like the sun of the month of Magha, which is mild and blur. The name of Magha is often compared to the winter of lunar month of Magha, and it is said, Maghenaiva Maghena Kampah Kasya na jayate. Just like the harsh winters of Magha makes everyone shiver, so does the poet Magha, who makes every poet shiver with fear. Now let us see why Magha is revered so much in Sanskrit literature. The PanchaMahakavya of Sanskrit literature are attributed to compositions of Kalidasa, Bharavi, Magha and Sri Harsha. A famous quote says, Upama Kalidasasya Bharaverartha Gauravam Naishadhe Padalalityam Maghe Santi Trayo Gunaha. This means that Kalidas is known for his similes and Bharavi for his profoundness of thought. The author of Naishadhiya Charitam, that is Sri Harsha, is known for beauty and rhythm of his words, but Magha is the possessor of all three qualities. Let us now see examples of all three qualities in Magha's composition. Firstly, let us see the use of similes. While describing the scenic beauty of Raivataka mountain, Magha says, Udayati vitatordhva rashmirajjava himaruchau himadhamni yati chastam vahati girirayam vilambi ghantadvaya parivarita varanendra leelam. This Raivataka mountain, with rising sun on one side and setting moon on the other side, simultaneously, is like an elephant carrying two hanging bells on either side. The above simile earned so much fame in the world of literature that Magha came to be known as Ghanta Magha, just as Kalidas is known as Deepashikha Kalidasa and Bharavi is known as Atapatra Bharavi. A beautiful example of Rupaka Alankar that can be seen in following verse describes the sunrise and its quick progression. Udaya Shikhari Shrunga Pranganeshvesharingan Sakamala Mukhahasam Vikshita Padmanibhihi Vitata Mrudukaragraha Shabdayantyavayobhihi Paripatati Divanke Helaya Bala Suryaha. Just as a small baby crawling on its knees is appreciated by beautiful smiling ladies that call out to it, and the baby holds out its hands and moves ahead quickly to fall in the lap of its mother, in the same way, the young sun slowly rises, being watched by blooming lotuses and chirping birds that are calling out to it. It too holds out its gentle rays and moves quickly in the lap of its mother, that is, the sky. We have already seen how Bharavi has a tremendous influence on Magha. So it is not surprising if Magha tried to inculcate the quality of Bharavi's Artha Gauravam in him. Artha Gauravam means profoundness of thought. Let us see a few shlokas that depict the same. Samaya eva karoti balabalam pranigadanta itiva sharirinam Sharadi hamsaravaha parushikrutaswara mayuramaniyatam. Time alone determines the strength among beings. In the rainy season, the voices of peacocks are pleasant to hear, but the voices of swans sound hoarse. However, in the Sharad season that follows rains, peacocks sound hoarse and voices of swans are pleasant to hear. Thus, strengths and weaknesses are a consequence of time alone. Another verse says, Drushtopi shailaha samuhur murarer apurvavat vismayamatatana kshane kshane yan navatamupaiti tadeva rupam ramaniyatayaha. While describing the beauty of Raivataka mountain, Magha says, Though Sri Krishna has visited Raivataka on many occasions, yet he is stunned by its beauty as if he has never seen it before. Thus, it is proved that something that keeps transforming into something new each moment, that alone looks beautiful and mesmerizing. Another thought of wisdom is as follows. Sevyopi sanunaya makalanaya yantra नीतेन वन्य करिदान कृताधिवासः नाभाजि केवलमभाजि गजेन शाखी नान्यस्य गंधमपि मानभृतः सहन्ते. When the Maha took his elephant under a shady tree for rest, the elephant could smell the musk of another elephant on this tree. Thus, though the tree was suitable for taking rest, the elephant refused to take its shelter. Truly, those who have self-pride and self-esteem cannot tolerate the success of another. As far as Padalalityam is concerned, let us just listen to following verses to appreciate their beauty and rhythm. Madhuraya madhubodhita madhavi madhusumruddhi samedhita medhaya madhukaranganaya muhurun madadhvanibhrita nibhritaksharam ujjage. A bumblebee mesmerized by the pollens of the flowers of creeper called Madhavi, which blossoms and looks beautiful in the season of spring, has started humming in the deep, intoxicated voice. Navapalasha palasha vanam pura sphutaparaga paragata pankajam mrudulatanta latanta malokayat sasurabhim surabhim sumano bharaihi. Sri Krishna saw the beautiful spring with forests full of palasha trees blossoming with new leaves, and lotuses full of pollen grains, some withering due to heat. Vikachakamala gandhairandhayan bhrungamalaha surabhita makarandam mandamavati vataha pramadamadanamaadya dyauvanodama rama Ramana Rabhasakeda Sveda Vicheda Dakshaha. The morning breeze is blowing the pollen grains of lotuses and making the bumblebees intoxicated with its aroma. Such breeze is expert in giving relief to the young ladies by rubbing away their sweat produced due to tiredness of amorous activities. Rajiva Rajiva Shalola Bhrungam Mushnanta Mushnam Tatabhistarunam Kantala Kanta Lalana Suranam Rakshobhiraksho Bhitamudvahantam. Here we can see repetition of words where the meaning is different each time, and it is also increasing the beauty and rhythm of the words. Magha has used many new and unusual words in his compositions. The variety of grammatical forms used by Magha and his thorough knowledge of Puranas, Upanishads, philosophy, polity, etc. have led to coining of many such original words that are rarely found elsewhere in literature. For example, let us see the word Anurusarathi, which Magha has used for Surya or the sun. This word can be deciphered as Avidyamano uru yasya saha anuruhu saha sarathir yasya saha anurusarathihi suryaha. Uru means limbs. Anuru means with no limbs. Sarathi means charioteer. Anurusarathi means the one whose charioteer is without limbs. As per Vedic mythology, Aruna, the charioteer of sun, was born without limbs, and hence Anurusarathi means the sun. This is a new and unusual word that is rarely found to refer the sun. Similarly, the word Madhusudana generally refers to Sri Krishna who killed demon Madhu. But Magha has used this word to mean a beekeeper, as Madhu means honey and Sudana means extraction, and a beekeeper is the one who extracts honey from the beehive. Other such examples are Abhramubharta for Airavat the divine elephant, and Turanga Kanta Mukhahavyavaha for Vadavagni, that is, forest fire. Magha has coined about 1800 such new words, where there are as many as 70 different words used to refer to Sri Krishna alone. Thus, due to use of such novel words and their non-repetition, it is often said that once you read the first 9 cantos of Sisupalavadham, there will be no new word that remains unexplored. The famous quote says, Navasarga gate maghe, navashabdo na vidyate. Magha can sure play with the words, but he is much capable with playing with their meanings too. A large part of 16th canto of ShishupalVadham is Shleshokti or sarcasm or satire, where what is said is pleasing to the ears, but what is meant is a complete contradiction. The context of 16th canto is that an envoy from Shishupala comes to speak with Sri Krishna. Outwardly, his words express praise for Krishna, but its meaning actually challenges him for a war. It will be interesting to see some such examples as follows. Vipulena nipidya nirdayam mudamayato nitantamunmanaha prachuradhikatanga nivrittim paritastvam khalu vigrahena saha. Outward praise would sound, the one who was excited by your proximity, such Shishupal wishes to give you a tight hug. However, the actual meaning of the verse is, the one who was mentally pained because of your proximity, such Shishupal wishes to crush you in a war. Pranatah shirasa karishyate sakalairetya samam dharadhipaihi tava shasanam ashu bhupatihi paravanadya yatastvayaiva saha. The outward meaning of the verse would be, Shishupala along with other kings will soon come and bow down to you and follow your orders as he owes his allegiance to you at this time. However, the hidden meaning in the verse is, the one to whom all kings bow except you, such Shishupal will soon come along with other kings and punish you as there exists no other enemy of him except you. Samareshu ripun vinighnata Shishupalena sametya samprati suchiram saha sarva satvatair bhava vishwasta vilasini janaha. The outward meaning would be, by joining hands with Shishupal, who is a slayer of his enemies, you should enjoy a fearless life with your wives and entire Yadav clan for centuries to come. But the actual hidden meaning is, by locking horns with Shishupal, who is a slayer of his enemies, you, along with your entire Yadav clan, will become husbands of your widowed wives. That is, all of you will die in the war. In my earlier video on Bharavi, we explored the many verses called Chitrakavya, where symmetrical arrangement of syllables is such that it forms various patterns. Magha too has excelled at creating such marvels that are quite mesmerizing. For example, Dadado dudda duddadi Dadado duda di dadoho Duddadam dadade dudde Dadada dadado dadaha. Here we can see that an entire verse is made up only of one phonetic sound, that is, the. Jajau joja jijit jaji tam tato titata titut bhabho bhibha bhibhu bhabhu rarari rariri raraha. Here, each quarter of the verse, that is, each pada, consists of one phonetic sound. Nile nana lana lina Nili nolla lana lina Lalana lalane lalam Leela lolena lalina. Here we can see The entire verse is built on only two phonetic sounds, that is n and l, and is quite a tongue twister. Some verses are palindromes, that is, they sound the same forward and backward. For example, Varana Gagabhira sa Sara bhi Gagana rava. Varana Gagabhira sa Sara bhi Gagana rava. Karitari Vadha sena Nasedha Varitarika. Karitari Vadha sena Nasedha Varitarika. Another interesting palindrome is the 33rd verse of the 19th canto, which is Vahana Janimana se Saraja Vanama Tataha Matta Saraga Raje Bhe Bhari Havad Janadhvani. Reading this same verse backwards will give us the 34th verse of the 19th canto, which goes Nidhvanajjavahari bha Bheje Raga Rasattamaha Tatamanavajara sa Sena Manijanahava. Apart from these entertaining verses, there are some engineered verses that follow a particular geometric symmetry and logic. There are some established patterns called bandhas like Gomutrika Bandha, Muraja Bandha, Chakra Bandha, Sarvatobhadra, etc. Let us see an example of each. Gomutrika Bandha. Pravrutte vikasaddhanam sadhanepya vishadibhihi vavrushe vikasaddanam yudhamapya vishanibhihi. Pravrutte vikasaddhanam sadhanepya vishadibhihi vavrushe vikasaddanam yudhamapya vishanibhihi. Muraja Bandha. Sase nagamanaarambhe Rase nasi danarata Taranada janamatta Dhira nagamanamaya. Sase nagamanaarambhe Rase nasi danarata Taranada janamatta Dhira naga manamaya. Sarvatobhadra. Sakara nana rakasa Kaya sada dasayaka Rasa hava vahasara Nada vada davadana. If we put these syllables in an 8x8 matrix, we get Sakarana Narakasa Kaya Sada Dasayaka Rasahava Vahasara Nadavada Davadana. Chakrabandha is a geometric arrangement of 10 concentric circles wherein the center will have one common syllable that is common to all lines right in the middle. The pattern then formed is magical. Sattvam mana vishishtamajirabhasa dalambya bhavya puro Labdha ghakshaya shuddhiruddharatara Shrivasa bhumir muda Muktva kamamapastabhihi paramruga Vyadha sanadam hare Rekaughaihi samakalamabhramudai Ropaistada tastare. What an engineered wheel pattern it is. And the marvel doesn't stop here. If we look at the third concentric circle clockwise, we get Mahakavya midam, which means this is the Mahakavya. And when we see the sixth concentric circle clockwise, we get Shishupala Vadha, which is the title of the Kavya. The 19th canto of Shishupala describes the war, and a war consists of many strategic patterns of soldiers, animals, and weapons that are called vyuhas. Magha has beautifully compared the military vyuhas with literary bandhas thus: Vishamam sarvato bhadra chakra gomutrikadibhihi shlokairiva mahakavyam vyuhaistad abhavat balam. When both the armies got ready for war, they arranged themselves in vyuhas, just like the shlokas of a Mahakavya arranged themselves in various bandhas. Just the way Bharavi was an inspiration for Magha, Magha became an inspiration for many later poets and learned men. To conclude, I would like to quote an anecdote. Once, a very learned man was asked as to how he managed to expand his intellect and vision the way he had. And the wise man replied, Meghe maghe gatam vayaha, which means that I invested my entire life in studying Magha, that is Kalidas's Meghadutam, and Magha, that is Mahakavya Shishupala to be what I am. I wish and pray that may all of us invest some of our time in exploring the treasures of our ancient heritage and lead an enriched life.